My name is Jensen. Let's learn some UiPath. Today we will see how we can convert a string to a date. And that is quite convenient and useful when we want to work with dates, since we cannot compare dates when they're strings. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel to get all my new videos about UiPath and RPA. With that said, let's get started. So first we have a variable, and that's today's variable, and so we'll assign it. So Control K, and we can call this one date now. That's just the date and time of now, and we will have it date time now, like this. So now we got a date time variable here that equals the value of now. And we'll go down to variables, and then the variable type, we'll change this one. So click the variable type, browse for types, and here we will search for date time, and there will be a lot of results. So choose this one on M is scorelib 4 point something, then system date time. Remember to choose the right one. So click OK, and now we assign this variable. Then we got another variable, and that is a string variable. So let's assign that as well. So Control K, str input we could call it, and we will have a date to that. So that could be like in quotation marks 13th of March 2020. And remember that here I put in the days first, and then the month and the year. We could easily just have changed those one to the days. So the months first, and then the days and the year. So it's just a question of a format. This one is a typical format that we work with. And we can now see that we cannot compare these two guys, because this is a string and this is a date time. So that's why we need to convert this guy here to a date time so we can compare them. But first we'll go down to variables, and instead of a generic value, we'll just change this to a string, because that's a string here. Now we will convert this string to a date time. So drag in another sign. But we could actually, before we do that, we could take a look at what the format of this date now is. So drag this guy in, and we can just say date now to string. Let us run this workflow, and we can see that, let's wait a second. We can see that the date now that contains the date time now that contains both the day here, year, and then the time. We can even get millisecond and microseconds if we want it. However, this will suit us. So let's just delete this one again. And now we will convert this guy here to a date time. So drag in another assign. And this assign will be a new variable, so Control K, and we could call this one date input, because that's the date time format of this input. And then we will go down to variables, and instead of the date input, the generic value, we will change that to date time. So either search for it or find it if you used it before. So this one should do, and now we can convert it. So what we'll do here is that we will say date time, then pass exact. And then we will have it even helps us here. So we will have an input, and that's just the string from up here. So str input. And then we need to specify what format it is in. And this format, that's first here it's day, month. Remember, month is with big M's, otherwise it's minute. And then year, because we got 4 digits in the year. If we only have 2, like say it says 20, then it would be this. However, this is the one to go with. Then we need some info about the culture, so comma, and then we will have the system, globalization, culture info, and then invariant culture. This is just the standard. So now what we essentially did here, we converted this string here to a date time. We need to see it in an example so we can see that we actually did convert it. So let's drag in an if, and let's drag the condition should be the date now is bigger than the date input. And what bigger means in the date time sense, it means that this is a newer date than this one. And since today is only here it's the 2nd of March 2020, then this will not be true. So maybe we could just change this to 2019, because then this will be true, that the date now is definitely newer than the input date. We could just write in a line here, just a quick one. And we could say something like date now is newer than input. And we could have copy paste, this one is not newer than this. And by the way, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. That will really help me a lot. So now we can run it and we can compare the two dates, and this one shouldn't, the date now should definitely be bigger than this one here, so we'll go over here, and it's never, so it's newer like this. So this one is newer, so that will go in that part of the tree. But let's run it, and we will see that in output we will have that is newer than input. However, say that we let's close down. Say that we change this one to, let's go 10 years out in the future to 2030. Then this will not be true. We'll go over here and we'll see that that works too. Go down to output, is not newer than input. Then there's a third problem here. When we get output from Excel, we will usually see that this is the thing that stands in an Excel cell. However, the format, if you write it out, that will be, we got with an hour. So for example, like 11, 23, something like 32. So this one is the hour, minute, and seconds. You cannot see it in the Excel cell. However, when we import it, we will have these three guys here as well. And when we try to convert it, then this one down here. So if the string look like this, then we will have to change the conversion here, because we remember we told UiPath about the format, and this was day, month, year. And if we try to run this now when we got the time as well, then this will give an error. However, there's an easy solution. So you just write in hour, minute, second. You just specify what format it's in. So now this will work. We can try to click OK. And let's change it back to 2019. So now the date now should be newer than the input. Let's try to run it. Go down to output, and we can see that it's indeed newer than input. So now we learned how to convert a string to a date in UiPath. And if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel to get all my new videos about RPA and UiPath. Have a good day. Bye bye.